My hair looks really cute. But hi guys, happy April and welcome back to my channel. It's NALAABEE, aka Flawed Healing, aka your big sis, aka the person you come to when you just need to. Okay, so that means if you're seeing this video, it means you're supposed to be here. Hello and welcome. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about surrender. For some reason, that has been in my head a lot in April. And that word is just like ruminating in my head over and over. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Because it is time to indeed surrender what you thought your life was supposed to look like to God, the universe, whatever you believe in. Hold on. Yes, so sorry. My sister called me. Somebody's always calling me during my YouTubes. But anywho, yes, it's time to surrender what we thought our lives were going to look like and give to the universe and call out to God, whomever you believe in, for what you're trying to bring into your life now. Because I think that a lot of times, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, we assume that our lives were going to look a lot different, and people that went to college and got the degree and got the job, we were promised some type of life that we all aren't necessarily able to live in this very moment. And I think it's, giving us a morale it's defeating our morale. It's like a lot of people who give up and a lot of people who say, well, what's the point of dreaming? What's the point of hoping? What's the point of wanting for anything when everything seems to be going to in a handbasket, as we're growing up. And I understand completely. I'm 29 and it's like where I thought I would be at 29 when I was 20 is absolutely nowhere near where I am right now. It's like, it's been 9 years, but how did I get here type situation. Like, I completely understand. But knowing that you have the power to surrender what you thought your life was going to look like is in itself empowering, because you let go of that control and that grip on who you thought you would be in order to present yourself as who you are now. When it comes to surrender, the key points that you need to remember is to let it go, let it be, and wait and see. Like, those three things are the things that you need to always keep in your head, because when you let it be, you just kind of like, all right, I can only go from here. The only way I can go is up unless I let myself go backwards. We're not going backwards in 2026, especially because with depression and with regret and with overthinking, it's easy for people to get into habits or around people who aren't necessarily good for who you want to be. I think it's easier to go backwards than it is to keep moving forwards. When you look at life as a hill, it's a lot easier to just go down. You go down faster, you go down quicker. It's easier to just stay complacent on the ground of the hill. But when you think about it, walking up a hill is hard. It's exhausting. It's exasperating. It makes you want to stop. It makes you want to give up. Although, when you look at it as, I'll just sit down on the hill. I'll just relax for a second. I'll just look at the clouds as I'm moving up the hill. You don't necessarily have to go backwards. You can just keep moving forward, knowing that even though it's hard, something's at the top for you. Something's at the top for you. And as you're going up the hill, you're meeting people and you're introducing yourself to people and you're coming across opportunities you never really thought you would have, but you wouldn't have seen them if you went backwards. You only see them if you continue up the hill. And that analogy, now that I'm saying it, makes a lot of sense, because hills it gets you from one destination to the next. So even if you feel as though there's nothing at the top for you, you're bound to come across something as you're just going up the hill. So when it comes to surrendering your old life, that means completely letting go of the what if. Well, What if I did this better? What if I didn't meet that person? What if I didn't have that child? What if I didn't get married and divorced? What if, what, That's the stuff you have to let go, because a lot of people stay in purgatory of their own minds, trying to understand and convince themselves that their past dictates their future, makes them feel like what they want, they can't have, and tries to devalue who they are in order to make a parent of who you want to be, if that makes sense. But you devalue yourself in your now because you aren't who you want to be. You didn't go after that dream. You didn't go after that opportunity. You didn't take a chance when you had the chance. Who cares? If God or the universe, whatever you believe in, continues to wake you up on purpose, that means that you have a purpose in this life. And I have to continuously tell myself that too. To get a little personal with you guys, I was indeed laid off in August, and I've been trying to do like YouTube and content creating and just, starting a different type of path for myself. And I get discouraged all the time, making it seem like, oh, I waited too long to try to be a YouTuber. Oh, there's no way that this is going to work out for me. And people aren't even watching my videos, which is fine because I make these videos more as a video diary, but more for anyone that just so happens to come across it and need a word on their heart. But it makes me feel like, am I doing something wrong if I just so happen to have to go backwards, because I started recently job hunting again? And I'm like, am I giving up on my dreams? Am I giving up on myself? Am I giving up on this path that I wanted by going back to things that I didn't necessarily want to be involved in anymore? But that's not true. Sometimes God pulls you back to slingshot you forward. And that's what I'm realizing. And I'm also realizing that, look at the economy and where we are right now. Not having a job is like, it's not a good idea. Like maybe 15 years ago, you could get away with not having a job and still somewhat making a living. But nowadays, you realize that in order for me to really actually have something of substance within myself, within my lifestyle, I have to have a job, or at least use this as a stepping stone to what I really want to do. So me going backwards, that's not a thing. I'm literally using what I can and doing what I can to get to where I want to go. And if you're in a similar type of situation where you feel like you had to go backwards, or you have this fancy, amazing degree that you paid for, but you're not using it, or you once wanted these things, but now you have kids, responsibilities, bills, I want you to know that what you want can still happen if you give yourself the permission to go after those things while you are where you are. And I love that I was able to come up with this, well, not come up with, but I'm glad that I was able to come to this conclusion, because I really was feeling down on myself, making it seem like I'm giving up on the fact that, I want to help millions of people one day. I want to be a voice of reason, a face of comfort to tons of people. And it made me feel like, well, if I go back to corporate America, am I really staying true to that dream? But consistency isn't linear, and nothing about life is linear. The only thing consistent about life is change. So I'm trying to give myself grace while I move through this season, because who knows what I could do, who I could meet, or what's going to happen in the next 3 years. Like, it's so easy to feel like where you're going and what you want is just non-accomplishable, when in reality, just moving forward makes it easier for you to run into certain things that would make a lot more sense for you, or give you that sense of accomplishment, or make you feel good about where you are. And honestly, when it comes to surrendering, I'm learning that being happy now is the key, because I'm learning in my 20s and in my late 20s, especially since I'm about to go into a whole new decade, I'm learning that a lot of people aren't happy even when they get the things that they want. They aren't happy even when they have 7, 8 zeros in their bank account. They aren't happy when, they got the guy, they got the kids, they got the relationship, they got the job, they got the accolades. It's a lot of people who still are deeply depressed, deeply disconnected, and deeply deranged, even while being where they thought they wanted to be, because being happy is a state of mind. It's consistent work on your own mental. So nothing outside of you really can give you the happiness that you're looking for unless you give it to yourself now. I'm learning that with routine and with consistency and with deep development, I'm learning that certain things make me happy, and talking to certain people makes me happy, and making these videos makes me happy, and interacting with you guys makes me happy. And it's like you start to realize that the happiness that you want down the line, you truly can have it now if you give yourself permission to have it. Being happy is a choice. It really is. You can spend all day being down and depressed about what you don't have, where you are, and what happened in your life to get you to this point. Or you can start developing routines within yourself that makes you feel good no matter where you are. No matter if you're 10 steps back, you're still somewhat happy because you're happy, healthy, and um, and you're encouraged by just being alive. And I know that's very easier said than done. I know it's easier said than done to be happy where you are. It's easier said than done to be at a point of life to where, things aren't looking good, but you have to see past that. You have to see past where you are right now in order to feel good, because your outside circumstances will always try to make you feel like you need to be doing more, you need to be in a better place, you aren't doing enough. It's a lot of times where your outside circumstances will indeed lie to you. But in order for you to move forward into that happiness bubble that I want us all to cultivate, no matter what you have, no matter what money you have, no matter what person's in your life, you have to be okay with who you are now, and get a routine and start moving your body and start putting down vices that aren't necessarily helping you. Again, it's easier to go back than to move forward. And that's what I want everyone to realize as they're going down their own path. You don't have to be a certain type of way in order to feel a certain type of way or to move a certain type of way. You can just give yourself permission to be happy now. Stop putting yourself in a position to feel bad for yourself. Stop putting yourself in a position to go backwards. Stop putting yourself in a position to feel as though you can't have what you want. You can't have happiness. You can't move forward, because you 1000% can. If I can do it, I know you guys can do it, because if you're a star, you're watching this channel, if this video came across your feed, then it was for you to see, because you're probably depressed. You're probably feeling down on yourself, and you're probably feeling like you could be doing a lot more, when in reality, in this state of being, in this state of the world, just getting up every day and trying your best is enough. Like, once I've begun to give myself grace when it comes to, all the things I could be doing in a day, working out, doing my money management, staying consistent, anything you can think of that's a pleasure to you, do that. Do that. If you want to go shopping, do it. If you want to eat a good meal, do it. If you want to get some boba, do it. If you want to get some coffee, do it. Do the things that make you feel good right now, because waiting or making yourself feel bad for actually enjoying life is the worst thing you can do right now, especially in this state of the world. So I made this video basically to help you guys realize that surrendering isn't so bad when you give yourself permission to let go. Don't surrender your dreams, hopes, ambitions. Still go after those things, but be gentle with yourself for where you are now, where you ended up, and how you got here. There's no reason to continuously beat up on yourself. There's no reason to agree with the anxiety voices that you hear in your head. There's no reason to feel like your life has no purpose. Because again, if you're waking up every day, if you're here on this earth, and if you have people that love you, even if you don't have people that love you, you are here for a reason. You're here for a reason, and you deserve to live a life that feels good to you. Don't wait until you get the things. Don't wait until you get to where you think you're supposed to be in order to be happy, because destination happiness will never feel good. It will never be real happiness. So from here on out, make sure that you surrender to the universe, God, the life you thought you would have, the dreams, the goals, the aspirations, and go after it a new way in order to get to that place. And it reminds me of that Lloyd lyric. I always talk about it, where he was like, he had to find a new approach to an old dream. That's very true. Sometimes you just need to go at it from a different way, and it will work. It will work, because anything that's meant for you won't miss you. And that's another great thing to surrender to. Know that anything that's for you, whether that be a person, a dream, accolades, money, a freaking vacation, anything that's meant for you will be for you effortlessly. You won't have to do too much. You won't have to say too much. You most definitely won't have to compromise who you are in order to get those things. Okay? So I just want to thank you guys again for tuning into this video, and I really hope that you're able to feel good about your life, and not only feel good about your life, but look at your life in a way to where you know, no matter where you are or what you have or who you thought you'd be, you're right where you're supposed to be, as am I. Because if you're here, you can become a star, because I'm a star. And if we're both stars, then that means that everything that I'm doing, you can do too. So once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning into my channel. And I really hope that you surrender something this month to the universe to make it, you know, a little bit easier on yourself, and love yourself and love those around you, even when you have every reason to be in a dark place or hate everybody. Turn that around and enjoy your life while you can, because that's literally why we're here in the first place. So I want to thank you guys again for tuning into this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on all socials, which will be listed down below. And make sure you guys come back when I upload again, because I love you, stars, and have a wonderful, amazing day, night, and or evening. Bye.
Say you got a plan, I really was trying to listen. You saying